Last week, we covered some huge AI announcements and events from OpenAI and Google, but now it is Microsoft's turn because they just wrapped up a huge week as well. So, first, they kicked things off on May 20th with a special event to announce a new category of Windows PC designed specifically for AI. These are called Copilot Plus PCs, and they're basically built from the ground up to be infused with AI. Now, these are machines built by a bunch of different partners like Dell and Samsung that are powered by new, more powerful chips that are designed for AI. And they both connect to large language models that are running in Azure Cloud, and they have small language models that run locally right on the device. Copilot Plus PCs also include a new AI feature called Recall, which actually tracks and recalls everything you have seen or done on your PC. Now, this AI powered perfect memory is built and stored entirely on your device, locally and private to you, according to Microsoft. So, as part of this launch, the newly, let's call him Aqua hired AI leader, Mustafa Suleiman, posted about the fact that Copilot will now see, hear, speak, and help in real time on these devices. And he showed off a really cool video where a user interacts via voice with Copilot to essentially work with it to play the game Minecraft. Suleiman said, quote, "Soon your AI companion will start to live life alongside you, whether playing Minecraft or helping you navigate life's most difficult challenges." So as that weren't a big enough deal, Microsoft then kicked off its Build Developer Conference from May 21st to the 23rd, and it dropped a ton of other AI announcements. These included things like Copilot AI agents. Microsoft says you'll soon be able to build Copilot AI agents that will basically act like virtual employees and do tasks for you without prompting them. These are going to be available later this year in preview. One of these appears to be something called Team Copilot, which is a Copilot feature for Microsoft Teams that can manage meeting agendas and notes, moderate team chats, and assign tasks and track deadlines. Microsoft also rolled out Phi-3 Vision, Phi-3 Vision, the multimodal version of its Phi-3 small language model. So these are these models that are small enough to actually work locally right on device. The company also talked up GPT-4o, which we covered on previous podcast episodes. This is the new flagship OpenAI model. It's now available in Microsoft Azure. And the company stressed how much better it is making things, especially for developers. It's now 12x cheaper to make a call to GPT-4o than the original model, and it's 6x faster in time to open response. And Sam Altman himself even dropped by the event to talk about the future of AI. He dropped some hints about where everything is going, at one point saying, quote, "The most important thing," and it sounds like the most boring thing I can say, "the models are just going to get smarter generally across the board." So, Paul, there's a lot to unpack here, but let's maybe first talk about the Copilot Plus PCs and especially this recall feature. What were your thoughts on that? It sounds like the recall feature sounds very similar to some of the other AI startups that we've seen, like Rewind, that are recording your entire life.
Yeah, that was certainly one of the ones that jumped out. Just real quick, like the way it works is, this is right from the Microsoft site. Recall takes snapshots of your screen and stores them in a timeline. Snapshots are taken every 5 seconds while content on the screen is different from the previous snapshot. So in essence, like everything you're doing, every private message, every video, every page, like everything is just all snapshotted. And yeah, it stays local and in theory secure, but it's everything you do, everything you see. And then the way it works is because they have snapshots where these AI models are multimodal and they can understand text and images and videos and everything, like it's able to discern something. So then if you want to ask a question, um, like if I say, "Oh, what was I wearing on May 24th when Mike and I recorded episode 99?" She's like,
Mhm.
boom, instantly. It's like, "Oh, you're wearing the black shirt." Because it knows, it can see a snapshot from that moment and it knows what I'm referring to. So, it's a slippery slope. I think this it gets into this idea of like the technology's going to be there. Are you willing to accept what you have to give up to get the benefit? And this is that law of uneven AI distribution that I wrote last year. And so as a consumer, you'll have this choice. Am I going to allow my computer to take screenshots of everything I'm doing every 5 seconds? As a employee, if we go over to the corporate side of this,
Mm.
you're not going to have the choice, I'm guessing. This is something IT is going to turn on or not. Um, if they turn it on, everything you do on your corporate computer will be screenshotted every 5 seconds. And I guess it stays local on your device, but they can get into your device and see everything you do. Like, companies do this already. Like,
Yeah.
companies monitor people's use of their corporate computers already. I just feel like this goes to a whole nother level because now I can interact with all those recordings in real time through natural language. So I think it's going to get messy. Like, I think, I keep waiting for, like, what are the things that are pushed on to people where people start resisting
Yeah.
AI. And this is one of those features where you start to see, like, I could see some people not liking this. And maybe this is one of the things that starts to get some people to turn against the use of this technology in corporations. Um, but I also think it could just be that there's this initial kind of visceral reaction, like, I don't like it. And then 6 months later, we forget it happened
Mm.
and it's just part of our lives. Probably more realistic. I mean, this is how Meta has built their whole company. Like, Facebook just pushes things forward people hate and they take some bad PR for it. And then 3 months later, we're on to the next thing that we hate and we've forgotten that they did the other thing. And you just like, you kind of assume we go through these news cycles and these kind of brain cycles where we get upset about something and then we move on and it's part of our life. My guess is Apple does something like this with the iPhone. Like,
Mm.
I could see some similar technology happening on your phone that enables you to talk to it about everything you've done, but to do that, it has to know everything you've done, have seen it, cataloged it in some way. So, I don't know, like, I'm not racing to turn this feature on when I have it. I don't do anything on my computer I'd be worried about it catching, but it's just the idea of having that kind of big brother screenshotting every 5 seconds that's weird to me.
Yeah. Did any other of the build announcements kind of jump out at you as particularly important or something to keep an eye on?
I think they just reinforced the trends we're seeing that everyone is racing to build multimodal. OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, obviously the main ones we're hearing. Anthropic, we haven't heard as much about multimodal yet, but it's coming. So they're all trying to build AI that can see and create all these different modalities: text, image, video, audio, code. So that is very apparent in what Microsoft is doing. They're doing on the back of OpenAI's models, but also increasingly their own models, as we've talked about in recent episodes. And then this whole positioning of AI teammates or agents or coworkers, however they're going to say it. I think it's a more digestible way to think about agents is to call them teammates or
Mm.
coworkers. It I'm going to say the word wrong.
Yeah.
Anthropomorphizes. Did I
Yeah.
say that right?
Anthropomorphize. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's better. People don't think about it as a replacement to them if it's messaged to them as a teammate.
Mm.
And so I think that there's some branding power here that we saw already with Google going this direction. Certainly, Copilot is the same idea. It's like, hey, it's just here to help you. Um, so I think that they're all kind of going in this direction of not only positioning it as a Copilot or a teammate, but building the capabilities for it to become that. And that, again, was really apparent. The other thing is this idea of being on the edge or on device,
Hmm.
that you're going to be able to do these things if you're not connected to the internet, that the models are going to get small enough, efficient enough, the chips are going to get efficient enough within the devices. I'm sure we'll hear more about this with Apple's conference in June. Um, that you're going to be able to do a lot of this AI capability on your device in the next 12 months. Like, right now, it's still hard to get the full power of generative AI on device without having to go out to the cloud to process things. But I think the advancements in chips and the advancements in the algorithms that are running them, making them more efficient, more battery efficient, more efficient from a compute standpoint, I think that 12 to 18 months from now, many of the things that we currently need to go to the cloud to do, we're going to be able to do on our devices, whether it's your PC, your tablet, your
Yeah.
phone. they're all going this direction. They're all talking about the same stuff, and I think that was more than anything to me just sort of validated that this is where they're all going.
Yeah.